Hello everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith. This is a game that I am familiar with from Gen Con 2018 as I stopped by the Rock Manor Games booth and Set a Watch was on the table and I asked individuals at the booth, what is this game? I want to understand what this thing is. It looks so cool. It just had an interesting mechanic with a fire and, you know, how far out from the fire. It's a survival game, I guess is the best way to say it, essentially. And if I'm understanding correctly, which I'll definitely be diving into it once I unveil the packaging and show you guys what's inside of this. The purpose of this video is kind of what this game looks like, at least in the prototype stage. And I'll keep saying prototype because that's what I believe this game is in right now. And then my aim is to actually do a playthrough so you guys can actually see it, kind of a Kickstarter preview, because their Kickstarter for this game launches in September. The game, again, has it's a survival game. If my understanding is correct, you're trying to keep a fire burning as bright as humanly possible. And when the brighter it burns, essentially the more creatures and more into the darkness you can see, which means you can kind of see upcoming things that are going to hinder you or potentially try to harm you. If you let your fire go out, you start not being able to see those things. And so it has this really cool fire mechanic, which is, again, Set a Watch. Kind of, the fire is a very central point to this survival game. But again, I haven't played it thoroughly. I've demoed it, so I've got a general understanding. But I thought I would just give you guys a quick high-level overview. Without further ado, let's crack in this box and see what's inside, because even I don't know what this thing is going to look like at all. But it is very nice. So if this is a prototype, it's a very, very well-produced one. You can see here it's for ages 10 plus. It's 1 to 4 players, plays in 60 minutes. And Todd Walsh right there on the side. Set a Watch. Again, this whole thing I think is going to be changed up when it goes to the Kickstarter. So if my understanding is correct, this has got to be a prototype. But man, is it ever a nice one. Like, it was surprised me. So that's the reason why I'm doing the unboxing, because I'm like, usually prototypes are really rough. Really, really rough. And I don't know what this one's going to be like when I get it open, but, you know, it looks pretty nice. So again, my understanding of whether this was released previously is I'm unsure. I'll have to double check, but it's got a very, very nice finish on the front. That's really, really cool. This is starting to make me think this is the final version. I could be off my rocker. I don't really know. Okay, no, this has got to be the final version. This thing is like done, I'm guessing. So that's really cool. I'm thrown for a loop right now. So I don't know whether to say this is prototype or not, but that looks like a finished product to me. Wow. So this is a magnetic box, if I'm not mistaken here. So that clips on like that. That's really nice. The cover art looks fantastic. Again, remember I played this at Gen Con. I demoed this. It looked really cool, but I was not expecting this. So, oh wow. So this is a prototype, but man, is it ever a nice looking one. That's craziness. I've had so many, like I've seen prototypes in the past and they are not good looking. This one is well on its way. So this is going to be exciting. Set a Watch, here's the rule book. So I'll just show you guys quickly. This is, again, this is going to be the rules of the game, of course, and this is the typical layout. I can't give you too much information on how things work and stuff, but there's a camp phase, there's a watch phase, there's an end of game. Here's how the first round works out. I'll give you a little bit of a close-up on some of the artwork. The artwork looks fantastic. I remember seeing this at Gen Con myself, so now this is coming to play. The reason it threw me for a loop is the game box here was black, this thing right here. So I thought everything was black and white. I thought it was just a prototype. This is a prototype, but it's a colored one. Still kind of confused, but man, does it ever look good as a prototype, so I can't imagine what the finished product will look like. Someone can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong from Rock Manor Games. If this is the final product, let me know, but it looks amazing already. I'm already blown away, but I'm guessing, oh, I don't know. I don't know anymore. There's all kinds of dice in here, colored dice. But that's the thing. See, like some of these dice, they don't look like they're probably going to be the final ones, but still, this is gonna really help with the playthrough because it's going to look fantastic. So we got these different colored dice. That's awesome. They even went with kind of like the fire colors, so the yellow, orange, and red. That's really cool. We've got some other dice here that are these 8-sided dice? Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Look at that. Fantastic. Very cool. We got some tokens here, some actual legitimate wooden tokens. So not just cheap stuff. This is thought out. That looks super cool. So we got here. Let me show you guys this up close. So there's the tokens. Look at that. Got the different fire. Sorry, I got this one flipped upside down. Actually, there's nothing on that one. So that's the first level, second level, third level, I guess. And then you've got these camp tokens that have 2 different sides. Again, I don't know what they mean. Like, this stuff is sealed as if it's like the final thing. It could be. I could be out to lunch. I have no idea. This is amazing looking. Here are the cards. So we got the Forbidden Tower, the Ancient Crypt, Forgotten Graveyards. These are all locations. Lost Outpost, Cliff Watch. The artwork looks really nice. Really nice. Like, it looks like you're going to be exploring all these different locations. Mountain Keep, they obviously have things on the bottom. The text is nice and big for you to see. Goblin Caves, Frost Caves, Grove. So again, solo gamers, this is one of those games that might be like a small box winner. This could be really cool because, again, what I played at Gen Con, I really thought was a neat concept. And again, it's more about the accessibility of playing a game that is small in the setup time and big on the content of the actual gameplay. So this is where I'm kind of excited because this could be a great game. I'm really impressed. The stuff looks great. So we got Goblin Chief, Necromancer, the Hydra, Phantom Cat. Again, I don't know what any of these things do. We've got keywords on the bottom, abilities on the bottom. Some of these cards there's multiple of. Forest Giant, got the Bear, Eagle. The artwork is really good. Like, it doesn't even look remotely... I was not expecting this level of artwork at all. Not even a little bit. It just didn't... Well, from the front of the game box, it didn't give me that vibe at all. But that's mainly because it was covered. This looks a lot more like the game art I'm looking at now. But having the black cover on top really threw me for a loop there. Fell Beast, Goblins. Wow. Pretty cool. Again, I'm just kind of going through this at a relatively quick pace because there's not, I'm not going to be able to tell you too much about what's going on there, but the cards they look really good. If I go to the back of them, this is kind of what the back looks like. Check it out. So I was right. It's like a campfire at night. There's the smoke and hiding all the evil that's out lurking in the distance. That's awesome. So basically, again, the fire is going to become your main source of survival. You can see here that the actual game box itself flips down to actually work as a game board, which is super clever. So you've got basically like a check map, a heal, chop firewood, scout ahead. You got some maps in here. You got a counter around your fire. So I have no idea what that means. Maybe it's just a level of the fire. You've got a smaller deck of cards here we can go through. These look like they tie into the characters. So maybe before I show you these, what we'll do is we'll just take a quick look into... Let's see, we'll take a quick look at the actual player cards right after I get these cards open, because I'd rather show you the characters first before we dive into their ability cards. So we've got, let's see here. Oh, look at that. So inside the box, we've got the unused locations, the horde cards, so it's even showing exactly where they should sit. That's kind of cool. I have no idea which way this should be facing, so I have no clue that way. I'm just kind of going with the flow at this point until I get into the rules and understand the game a little better. So here we go. There is the Elf Ranger. There's the artwork on the elf. Looks really good. Elven Scout. Draw, look at, and rearrange the top 4 cards of the creature deck and return them to the top of the creature deck. So really nice artwork on that. There's a nice quick reference on the back. That's super helpful. Love it. Love quick references that are especially built into the player board itself. You got the Beastmaster, so different characters you can be. Dwarf, the Rogue, the Wizard, the Cleric, the Knight. It's a bunch of them. The Bard. Awesome. That's really cool. So there's a whole bunch of characters that you can be. So I think that's pretty much it besides these ability cards. Let's take a look at these. So we got Elf Senses. So if you're going to end up playing the Elf. Long Shot, Far Sight, Slumber, Sharpshooter, Curse. So every character has a whole handful of special abilities that I'm guessing they basically unlock as you go along. Poison Blade, Scout, Backstab. Very nice. It's nice and compact. That's what I like. It's like, it looks like a game that's going to have some meat, but then not. And I really like that with the solo games that are coming out these days on Kickstarter. It's like companies are realizing that there is a market for solo games that are not 20 pounds in the box. Like, that is good. I love those types of games because I'm a huge strategy heavy gamer in terms of Ameritrash Euro, that type of thing. But it's nice to have games that just, like, this is it. This is the content of the box, and you could probably pick up the rules and learn this in maybe 20 minutes or less. Because there's, like, literally 15 pages, and for the most part, like, you're going to rip through that read in no time at all. So I'm really excited, guys, for this one. My aim here with the videos is going to be a Kickstarter preview. I'm just going to show you guys basically how it plays. I'm going to leave it totally up to you guys as to whether or not you're interested in it or not, as I always do on my channel. So basically, this is it. Set a watch. I had no idea going into this it was going to look as good as it did. I knew that this was, if I'm remembering correctly, I remember when they sent me this, they said, we have an extra prototype, would you like it? And I said yes, and I think what threw me for a loop is seeing, you know, a deluxe edition sleeve on a prototype throws you, because you're wondering whether this really is final or not. So maybe we'll get some communication in from Rock Manor Games about whether this is the final version or not. I don't think it is. I think the purpose of the Kickstarter is to take it from this particular stance and add into it based on the support and the funding and create an even bigger and better game, would be my understanding. But it looks like they're already well on their way to creating a cool looking game. We'll now see whether the meat of the game is actually good. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this was useful. Hopefully this piques your interest in something coming in September. Keep your eye out for Set a Watch. I'll also be sure to mention this on all of my channels, social media, and whatnot, so you guys can actually keep an eye on this when it launches, as well as any information I run into. And until we get to the Kickstarter preview, I'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep on rolling solo.